Alright guys, hope you're all keeping safe. I want to apologise, someone's actually cutting their lawn outside my house right now, which is the worst time because I actually want to do this video and get this out to you as soon as possible. I was working until 5, which is why this is a little bit late, but we do have the full patch notes now for TU8.5. Now I did cover the patch notes maybe a week or so ago, but these are the final patch notes, so there's probably going to be some stuff that was taken out, some stuff included, and I just want to go over everything so that you guys know exactly what to expect with tomorrow's maintenance and then subsequent TU8.5. So as you can see, the maintenance is 3 hours. I would say that probably give it 4 hours. Most of these things take a little bit longer. And we're going to go over the full patch notes here and see what's going on. I just realized I already had it open. So yeah, I actually made a video a minute ago. This exact video I'm making again, but unfortunately there was some background noise from other stuff, and yeah. Let's start again. So, let's go over everything. So, bug fixes. And I'm going to go through pretty much all of these. Fix an issue causing the stack acquisition of Strikers Gamble to be inconsistent. So, this is good news. They're basically fixing Strikers. Fix an issue causing players to be unable to revive other agents. So this is brilliant news. This is the manual revive hive where you're helping someone else with a revive hive. But the auto revive hive where it picks you up is still very much being worked on, I believe, because I believe there's still instances of it being broken, and I can testify to that. It's happened to me loads of times, especially I'm a solo player and I always use it and it breaks all the time. Fix an issue causing the revive UI to disappear, not important. Fix an issue causing aggressive recon and crossbow expert talents of the tip of spear gear set to trigger in the DZ safe house or DZ control points. This is very good news. This essentially fixes tip of the spear going into the dark zone. So once this comes in tomorrow, you should not see any more specialization weapons until someone else finds a way to break the game. Let's be honest, it will happen eventually. Fix an issue causing the Joyride weapon skin, not important. League reward caches to be contaminated. Exotic BTSU gloves to always roll at a minimum roll range from certain sources. I've seen this. I never actually reported on this, but I've seen plenty of people send me screenshots of this where they've got the exotic BTSU gloves with the lowest roll range known to man, and I'm glad they fixed that. Issue causing the short circuit buff to not restart after cooldown is expired for a hardwired gear set, so that's good. Fix an issue causing players to be able to gain infinite ammunition. Now I did see this exploit. I'm glad they fixed it. I don't think anything will be done about the people that have done it. It is what it is. Fix an issue causing players to be able to gain more than intended Operation Dark Hour keys. Temporarily removing warhounds from the first mission to beat in the Manning National Zoo. I think they were getting stuck on the roof here, as it says. I've not actually seen that. Fix an issue causing the checkpoint for heroic difficulty DARPA Research Lab main mission to be missing, and the same applies for Pentagon main mission as well. This is very good news because I've seen some people yesterday on Twitter or maybe the last couple of days saying that they've gone through, I think it's DARPA Research Labs, which they're saying is unbelievably difficult on heroic. And there was someone on Twitter yesterday, and this is how bad it got. Someone was on there for like 3.5 hours and they died at the end. And they basically got put back to the beginning, which is just absolutely horrendous. I couldn't imagine investing that much time into something and it just basically going away within seconds. That's awful. So I'm glad that these two fixes have come in, and hopefully they are actually fixed. We'll have to wait and see. Fix an issue causing players to receive self-damage when killing an enemy player with full flag debuff from the True Patriot gear set. Fix an issue that could cause the season level 60 rewards to be incorrect under certain circumstances. I've not seen that myself. Gameplay changes, and I think this is the biggest one for me. Control points can now be reset by changing global difficulty. Changing directives will not reset control points. This is unbelievably good news. I really hope that when they say this is coming tomorrow, it actually does happen. We know Massive, they make mistakes, bugs come in, through all of this stuff. They fix stuff, it breaks stuff, we know that. I hope that this is one thing that absolutely does come in tomorrow, because pretty much all of my Washington D.C. map is green. Not all of it, but pretty much all of it. My whole New York map has been green since pretty much day one, and I would love to go back to, to farm control points. I love just roaming, just walking to control points and farming them much more than I do going through main missions. I just think there's more variety for most of the time, and so I'm really glad with that. League UI, the League UI should now be more intuitive when switching between week 1 and week 2. This is again really good because I had to make a video on the League issue between week 1 and week 2 just because a lot of people got confused as to how it worked, and you'd go into your UI, it looked like you just lost everything, which wasn't the fact. I know some people did actually, but generally for most people they didn't lose everything. It was just a UI issue, so I'm glad that that's been changed. NPCs balancing, and these are pretty much all nerfs, guys. So BTSU support station will now check line of sight between support station NPCs more frequently. Decreased tick rate of support station healing to 2 seconds, up from 1.5. Elite support station now only provides overheal once per NPC. The support station heal amount is now capped. And support stations no longer heal while affected by EMP and disruption effect. The support station was really the final boss when it came to like heroic and certainly legendary difficulty. Not that I've played it, but I've seen a lot of videos on it. That was the final boss because this thing could out heal the best DPS build there was. That's how strong this thing was. And as you can see here, it overhealed NPCs constantly, right? More than once. It was very strong, and you couldn't do anything about it. So I'm glad, unless you shot it down, and it had so much health as well, and it was hid behind cover. Crazy. I'm glad that this has been addressed, and that's really good news. Warhound Grenadier, increase in wind-up warning of triple shot of Warhound Grenadier, increase in aftershoot delay of triple shot, and slightly increase in cooldown of moving shot of Warhound Grenadier. That's very good news, because I found that a lot of the time with the Warhound Grenadier, not so much as other grenades, but certainly with the Warhound Grenadier, they would shoot and you'd be dead instantly. You wouldn't even really know about it. Like, it would happen so quickly. Warhound Minigun, adjusting Warhound Minigun behavior to flank less frequently and to maintain more distance to its players, which again is somewhat, I noticed about the Warhound Minigun is they flank just constantly. But what I do notice about the Warhound Minigun, and you guys have to let me know if you feel the same, but the Warhound Minigun, even on challenging, which is what I play on most of the time, it kind of feels like it does chip damage, right? It's doing a little bit of damage of every shot, right? It's not NPC red bars, which damn you in seconds. It does chip damage. But I'm glad, and it probably should be the other way around, let's be honest, but I'm glad that they're adjusting this. Adjusting Warhound Minigun to path less close to players, increasing intention icon duration of 360 spin from Warhound Minigun to 2.5 seconds, up from 2 seconds. This one, I will say, is adjusting Warhound Minigun to path less close to players. I've not experienced that myself, but if they are going to be much further away, then doesn't that reduce the viability of any other weapon aside from assault rifles, marksman rifles, and rifles, M1As? SMG players, who uses SMGs at the moment in PvE? I don't think anyone uses them, and this just makes it even less viable. Certainly when it comes to the Warhound Minigun, where the SMG range is minimal. Reducing 360 spin from Warhound Minigun to only 2 spins. Reducing range of 360 minigun of Warhound Minigun to 30 meters, down from 70 meters. That is crazy. 70 meter range on that 360 spin. I'm glad they've reduced it. I've been surprised by this before because I didn't realize how far it could shoot and been downed instantly. So tank archetype reaction to Hive and turret, adding more distance checks so tanks don't rush at a Hive next to a player. That's very good. You could have a tank 400 meters and this thing is Usain Bolt in jumping hurdles to try and take out your Hive, and they just can't be stopped. It's ridiculous. It's like something out of X-Men. It's crazy. Reducing threat limits so tanks don't switch targets too suddenly. Outcast Incendiary Molotov. Reducing duration and tick damage slightly. Now, I'm not so sure about this. Developer comment. Grenades were very strong compared to other faction grenades, and this will bring closer in line. Why I'm not so sure about this, I don't think this is enough. Now, this doesn't necessarily target fire damage, okay? It's more to do with the actual grenade itself, the Incendiary Molotov grenade itself. And maybe in those circumstances, I don't know. I feel as though the fire damage, personally, is just out of control. I feel like it's just too strong. Okay, I really do. Along with poison damage, which we'll get to because they are adjusting poison damage, which makes it all surprising that they've not, from what I can tell, they are making slight adjustments here, but they're not focusing on fire damage predominantly. And I really think they should, because I think it's just too strong, it's too overpowered, and I really think they need to look at it more. Pentagon bosses, reducing drone helicopter health and damage. Slightly reduced health and armor for Brenner, reducing Brenner's mortar damage, decreasing armor of John Architect Figs. I've heard a lot of news about this. I don't know myself. I've not ran Pentagon for a long time. I'm behind on the manhunt because I've been working my actual job as opposed to YouTube, so I've not had a chance to actually go through the manhunt much yet. But when I do, I've heard that it can be ridiculous. So these are probably good nerfs. I don't know. I've not played through it to give you my comment. Mortars, reducing damage of mortars in Coney Island, increase the delay between UI warning, explosion of mortars in National Man Zoo. That doesn't make any sense either way I said that. Fixing general damage, scaling issues with mortars. I've done Manning National Zoo I can't even speak. Manning National Zoo a few times, and I've not really experienced this for myself, but I presume that there's a good reason why they're doing this. Maybe it was just the instances I went through. I never had a problem with it. Skills, assault turret, improving auto-targeting of assault turret to better prioritize NPCs it can shoot and which are close to it. Assault drone, improving behavior to prevent the drone from becoming stuck, improving the consistency of firing and pathing. These are good changes, right? Because ultimately, if they can keep improving skills to make them better, okay, then that's good, right? However, and I'm going to go back to what I've said before, and plenty of people have talked about, right? Skill health is a problem. Especially skills that are easily targeted, okay? So, for example, you could take like the mortar. Now, that's stuck generally at the back of the map. It's next to you, and NPCs aren't really getting anywhere close to it. It's normally behind cover, okay? So that way there's no line of sight from NPCs. So having low health on something like that probably makes sense, right? You have to position it in a certain way. That's fine. But something like an assault drone or even an assault turret where enemy NPCs have a clear line of sight on these things, especially the assault drone, which goes in for the kill, right? These things need huge increases in health because if they get one shot, it doesn't matter if you've got a tier 6, support build with the most health you can get on an assault drone or assault turret, right? Even if you go into, what is it called? Overdrive? I can't even remember what the, I can't remember the name of what the other thing is above tier 6 now. No one's even talking about it because no one uses it. But even on that, it's just not enough, right? The assault drone just takes, 2 million damage per half a second, right? It gets destroyed instantly. The same with the assault turret, and they really need to increase the skill health. Otherwise, what's the point? No one's running these for a good reason, right? Because they're just not effective when you compare it to something like the mortar or something like that. Status effects. Poison status effect. Reducing tick interval damage and duration. Even with the damage reduction to enemy NPCs, poison continues to be extremely strong. This nerf will alleviate this further. This is very good, and you probably saw the video I did a week ago where I showed myself on challenging getting hit by a poison grenade, which, for starters, had no particle effect, so I couldn't even see the poison in the air, and I thought I was out of range of it. I wasn't. It floated over to me like I don't even know, and it destroyed me within seconds. So this is very good. I'm very happy with these changes because it means that, yeah, if you sit in the poison, indefinitely, you're going to die, right? But if you get out of the poison, then it's going to do chip damage rather than kill you instantly, right? This is what I think they should apply to fire as well. Maybe, I don't know if it should be to the same extent because I don't actually know what this is going to be until we test it out tomorrow. Probably go onto Federal Emergency Bunker at the start where they generally throw them and you can test it out. So I don't know if it will be to the same extent as this, but they definitely still need to look at fire. EMP skills and shock effects will now do damage to several NPC skills like the jammer from support units and the nail bomb from the thrower archetypes. This is, again, very good. Very, very good. I've heard people complaining about the nail bomb saying it's too crazy. I've not experienced it myself too much, so I really can't comment on that, but this is obviously good. And then leaderboards, reset the leaderboards for Operation Dark Hours. I think this is mainly due to third-party cheats. I don't know for sure, but I think there's third-party cheats that have allowed people to for this to happen. Or I think there may have even been some in the Dark Hours where something happened towards the end, and I don't know totally. Something happened towards the end where it would reset the timer, and then you could do it again. The same thing that happened initially with Leagues, where it was rogue agents, where you could defeat them and it would reset the timer. Something similar was happening with Operation Dark Hours, and which is why people were running it in like 2 minutes. So they've reset the leaderboards for that reason. But that's it, guys. Thanks very much for watching today's video. Tomorrow's video, I'm looking at making a video on exotics after you guys... lots of you guys commented on exotics in my community post. I've taken some of your comments, about 6 of them, and I'm compiling a script and a video based on your comments. I'm just going to go through those, so hopefully you're looking forward to that. With that said, thanks for all your support, and until the next one, Epic out.